2nd, 2025. And on Mondays, we get blessed with hearing from our CEO. Now, this is a woman who is not just any CEO, she's a visionary with more than 30 years of experience in the network marketing space. She changed her life in this space and vowed that she would do the same for others by creating an environment that's nurturing to growth. And she's done exactly that. Over the past 6 years, Akana has grown and been able to add and enhance and just make more and more people healthy and wealthy. And we just appreciate the opportunity that her vision opened up for us. A mom, a glam mom, an author, a co-author, a mentor to thousands, and someone that I can absolutely call my sister friend. So without any further ado, please welcome Melissa Boston Atoyebi. Melissa?
Hey, Kathy, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, cool. I didn't say mute off, so I didn't know if the mute was going on or off. But hello and good morning, everyone. Wow, it is Monday, June the 2nd. I tell you what, time is already flying this year. Hopefully you are off and running because time is waiting on no one. But Kathy, thank you for that tremendous introduction. As I'm sitting here, we had our sleepover last night at the EE Center. You know, for some of the people that are kicking off the cleanse, you know, we really felt that accountability would be really strong. So, girl, we were here last night juicing. We were prepping. We were getting more of our kale done. So just really ensuring we have what we need for the week and making sure those who really want to stay plugged in have that accountability and the support they need. So, guys, you're always welcome to join us. But I know downstairs we got Sanove and Tracy. We got even the grandkids. So it's going to be a booked and busy day. But excited to hear everyone dialing in from all across the country. You know, every time, Kathy, you give me those accolades, I really have to throw it back to you. I mean, you're so humble and modest. I mean, she's one of our Emerald directors. I mean, absolutely leading the charge. VP of Finance, wearing so many hats, holding it down in customer service. Kathy, I don't know what we would do without you. You're such an instrumental part in everything we do to make our business win. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, good morning to everyone on the line. Let me go ahead and jump right into it because I'm so excited today. I don't want to get started before I share our mission statement, but our mission is we believe health, wealth, freedom, and legacy are our birthright. By offering life-changing products and innovative business, we empower people to elevate to their full potential. Akana means in the hands of God. And oh my goodness, today, again, we have a really great lineup because not only do we have the kickoff of a new edition for our hair Zoom, so super excited about that, but we launched our Father's Day specials, okay? So everyone, you want to tune in and check your email so that you can grab the Father Day specials that are launching so we can honor and support our men. And also, too, thank you to the team for holding it down last night. I know we had another epic certification last night. So, Kathy, Dr. Betty, I know you both lead the charge with that, but just really everyone that participates to make our certification come together. I know, Mooney, you've been holding it down on that compensation plan, and we've had several guest speakers. And I know last night, Bernadine, thank you so much. Just a really amazing asset to bring together certification with some new tools and updates. So if you have not had a chance to check out certification, you want to make sure you get the replay. Speaking of replay, hopefully each and every one of you have now joined our community, which is our full body reset 360. I'm telling you what, this is going to be one of the most exciting and explosive communities when it comes to health and wellness. In fact, you can join our access list right now by going to the website and click on the access list. That'll give you what you need and then get you invited into our Facebook group. Now, I have noticed that there are several leaders. You're not in our Facebook group, okay? And I'm not going to call names out, but it tells me you haven't really, looked at the process, and we don't want to leave anyone behind because this is such an explosive way that we're really finding people that want to commit to the 7-day cleanse, and many of them are going to join us on a monthly basis. And so if you want to keep pushing with your CV, if you're super excited about, winning Las Vegas, coming with us to Bermuda, you want to really do the things that we're witnessing those who are climbing to the top are doing. So I've seen several of our leaders. And in fact, I'm going to read the CV numbers, okay? And it's amazing how last week, we didn't have, the big push yet on CV. I know it was Cecilia Hill out there leading the charge, but I'm telling you what, it's amazing the difference that 1 week could make, okay? I mean, it was like a CV tsunami with so many people hitting their CV, and yes, even a silver qualifier. But when I went back and I looked in to see, well, where are their numbers coming from? It's really coming because they're pushing what's working right now, and that's encouraging people to join this community. And so I want to go over that today, but I want to first go ahead and brag on our CV qualifiers. So let me go ahead and pull that report real quick. Okay, so here we go. So congratulations to Kathy Weathersby, Tracy Bolton, Crystal Robinson, Cheryl Johns, Willie E. Mooney, Beatrice Foster, Wellness Coach B, Reba Dabney. Hey, Reba, congratulations. Reba was in our office just a few days ago and probably was about 180 away. And so I guess you went on that last minute push. So good job, Reba. Okay. You're so coachable. Cherie Eppinger, Fatima Horn, Charlotte Powell, Bernadine Kirkland, Brenda Jones, Abena Sheeran, also Cecilia Hill. And then we have at silver, Kenneth Elam. So I want to just again congratulate everyone for hitting that CV, but it really shows you want to pay attention to what's working right now, because each one of them have embraced what's happening with the full body reset, because it is absolutely on fire. And so what I want to do today is I wanted to take a little bit of time, and I know Kathy went over some of this during the certification, but I want to really just, talk to you as leaders. You're on this line, every Monday, you're really leading the charge. Most of you, I hear your names periodically, whether it comes to CV, you guys are winning all the different accolades that we share when it comes to our retail. But let me just talk a little bit about, the purpose of why we're doing the full body reset. I think it's really critical that you hear from me my excitement, and how sometimes you lead into one direction and it really opens up something that we've really been searching for. Even when I had a chance this past weekend, I think on Friday I had Dr. Prince and then I had Dr. Joseph on Saturday, they were both blown away, when they really had a chance to understand a little bit more. I mean, when I first reached out to them, of course, they said, yes, we're in for this, but they really had no idea what they were saying yes to. And so I said, I really wanted to make sure I had a chance to, connect and share the vision of what we're doing and why we're doing it. And so one of the things that came out from Dr. Thomas, he says, wow, he says, you guys are really onto something. He says, because the research shows that's the issue. He said, it's really the accountability. He said, everybody has a healthy program. People are so quick to jump on a 30-day challenge, a 20-day challenge, but who's really measuring the long-term success of these type of programs? Because there's not a long-term success, because it's typically, people do it for a short period of time and then they're back to their same lifestyle. He said, I know that this aspect of community and really accountability is going to be such a game changer. And so when you think about Full Body Reset 360, yes, it is the world's first, guys. And I want you to hear this, okay? We are the first to bring a holistic wellness system that's built around the power of blood type awareness. So it ties right in to what we're doing, because it's focused on the blood type awareness, longevity of our community by having certain practices that we do, really looking at what they're doing in those blue zones, and expert-led transformation. So we not only have our certified wellness coaches who will be on Tuesdays to help lead the charge, to ensure that every single person who's on this program has the access and the support they need. I want you to think about that for a second. So many times people have bought that cleanse, and maybe you're busy, you're working, you don't always have time to do what you need to do, okay? And so how powerful is it to have a community that's actively engaged every single day, focused on helping the people who join our program win? I mean, just think about how that's going to take things to a whole another level. And so it's super, super exciting. In fact, it is more than a program. It is a lifestyle catalyst designed to help you reset your body, elevate your health, and reclaim your prime. Okay. And so we're combining all of these different factors. Yes, the blood type, nutrition, the education, and empowering people to eat in alignment to their biology. I just had a group over, and this is actually someone who's a part of Gigi's team. They had flown into Chicago, and so she wanted to take the tour of the office and really show and brag on her office. She's also a big networker. She's, top producer in another company. So she's in our company and she promotes it for the health purposes, but she's not, again, an active promoter. So they stopped through, and every single one of them except one was an O blood, okay? And the one that wasn't an O blood, the AB, again, she had got her blood tested from us a few years ago when we were in Vegas, but she never really adapted to a lifestyle. And when I learned the issues she faces from, she can't sleep at night, she can't even go out into the sun. When she's out in the sun, she breaks out into rashes. Just all these issues. And come to find out, all the food she's been eating, even since she did the blood type test back then, guess what? It's the food that's literally causing these issues and all this inflammation. She's got so much inflammation in her body. And that, I know, was a breakthrough moment for her to see it again, because sometimes people have to hear this several times. And so immediately she says, well, what does the cleanse cost? And guess what? She was ready to activate, because she finally connected her suffering to her blood type, okay? And so this is a movement that's going to allow people to finally eat for their biology. And we're talking about a supportive community. Like-minded people that's mirroring the activities and the lifestyle of the world's healthiest blue zones. We're going to create the largest online blue zone community in the world, okay? And we're giving access to medical advisory board members, fitness professionals, experts in health and wellness. And we're guiding people through a 7-day raw cleanse every single month, targeting products and real-time support. Even Dr. Prince was like, that is amazing, because you're right. People do the 21-day cleanse, and sometimes they go off on the deep end. Some people have made it a lifestyle, and if you've done that, congratulations. You're one of the people that really embrace this, and maybe every quarter you're getting your cleanse in, and maybe after you cleanse, you're doing the post-cleanse. But we really have to look at this from a perspective of what would that mean for your family? What would that mean for each one of our families if we could get them on a program where they had other people helping guide them over the next 12 months? What would their health look like? Because we're even combining activities like walking and swimming and functional movement, and really encouraging that social connection, because we know that when you look at longevity, isolation is a sure, fast way to develop dementia. It's a sure, fast way to really ensure your health's going to fall faster. So you want to socialize. You want to be in a community where there's support. So can you imagine where we're arranging events here in Chicago like pickleball? And of course, we'll have Margaret Dorsey lead the charge on that, okay? Can you imagine when we're doing beach activities like we're doing today? We're going to walk over to the beach. We're going to put our feet in the sand. We're going to ground ourselves, okay? We're going to have that time in the sun, because these are important. But imagine when we're doing it as a community. I know many of you do swim activities and aerobics with the water aerobics, and that's phenomenal. So can you imagine having some Akana assisted water aerobics? This is really what we're doing, building this blue zone community. And the fact that we have the spa here, the energy system, I'm telling you what, folks, we have a complete, comprehensive, 360-degree approach that's going to really transform the habits, the mindset, and the physical health of people around the world. Because this is exciting, because even if we look at our concept minus a product, but we can do the coaching, can you imagine how we can start to soft target other countries and even open up before we're there building a base? Then we can say, wow, it makes sense to have France open, because we already have 1,000 people in France that's a part of our community, as we're working together to help people live longer and really thriving together. And then, of course, by combining that with our medical advisory board, allowing them to have their opportunity to really showcase different things every single week. I was here with Dr. Thomas, and it was amazing because we had other people here too. And I just felt the energy of people gleaming off of what he had to share. In fact, he was supposed to just come here for our quick interview, but he was here for literally hours after that, just sharing nugget after nugget. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing, because this is a medical doctor. And sometimes our very own doctor, we don't get 15, 20 minutes with, 30 minutes with, let alone hours and hours. And what's great about the information he brings, he's also going to always bring the medical perspective. He's going to look at the peer-reviewed studies. He's going to be able to drop some nuggets and facts that as a doctor, you're hearing it from him and it's blowing you away because you're like, wait a minute, right? We hear these things, but to really see someone who's actively practicing medicine, I mean, this is a gentleman who's an OB-GYN. He's been doing this for well over 30 years, delivered not 10,000, he said. He stopped counting 7 years ago, okay? I mean, well over 10,000 babies. And so it's just amazing, some of the stuff we learned, like just to give you an example, he was sharing with us regarding Black women. He was talking about why, it is that, the breast cancer rates and the things that we're dealing with here, he said, we're more likely than any other person, he said, Black women to get dementia, okay, and then our breast cancer rates. And one of the things he talked about, of course, the active lifestyle making sure we're out there walking. A lot of times I can remember, you grow up and you don't want to sweat out your hair, so you skip exercise for a few days, then you skip it for a week, right? So just getting that exercise in. But he talked about how we as African-American women need more vitamin D than any other person. So even more than African-American men, we need the vitamin D. And so we're so deficient because when we go to the doctor and we demand them to test us, and they might test us for vitamin D, and all of a sudden they might say, well, you're at 40, so you're perfectly fine. Or you're at 50, ooh, you're almost at the high side, right? And he says, but the studies and the research and all the published reports for Black women says we need actually much more than that. In fact, when we have levels closer to 70, 75, 80, he says at that level, we're now reducing our risk factors for these diseases by 80%. So we're causing a lot of these issues because unfortunately we have a medical community that's not engaged and plugged in with us as African-American people, because he said there's a lot of research out there. And as a doctor who's delivering babies, he's always been concerned, he said, about our community. He said, because again, if you know the research in the hands of other doctors, sometimes we're more likely to die prematurely, even at birth, okay? And so he talked about research regarding young Black men and why autism rates are exponentially higher with Black men than any other person. And he talked about that. And so these are things he can share with us and knowledge we're going to get every single week from many of our doctors, guys, because we have Dr. Tyus, okay, who's also another MD. She shared last Thursday on the call. And that was amazing because she's a specialist in metabolic disorder. And then we have Francine Smith Perkins, who's a registered nurse. And I was blown away by the research she's been doing on blood types. I don't know if you guys heard that last Thursday, but she talked about, do you know that the doctors already know there's a correlation between blood types and different types of cancer and your risk factor for developing it? She said they know this, but again, this is not something they're going to go ring the alarm because they're going to, most likely find themselves, with their other colleagues. Oftentimes they, don't do that because again, it's not something they were taught in medical school. So a lot of times if it's different research, even when they're learning something new, until it's widely adapted, many of them don't say anything about it. So they'll let you sit there and suffer and tell you, you don't even know your blood type, but yet they know that blood type A's, and she put it on the research, have an increased risk factor for colon cancer, pancreatic cancer, and stomach cancer. And I was like, wow. And then we looked at the O's, and the O's actually had decreased risk factors for some of those same diseases. Now, the challenge with the O's, a lot of times, again, because you guys can tolerate more, you typically do it. You try to tolerate more, you abuse the body. So then again, O's might get the same type of cancers, but your risk factor for many of them are much lower because again, we're living in this American diet, where we're eating these heavy animal dinners and lunches. And as A's with the lower stomach acids, it's literally killing us, okay? And so this is knowledge that is so powerful. And as these doctors, they're going to bring it to the forefront. And then, of course, we have our very own Dr. Betty, who you guys have literally had access to every single Tuesday. And what she does on the level of research, it's just unbelievable. I'm always learning and gleaning from her because she's constantly a student of knowledge. In fact, there was something I overheard her listening to. And I said, Dr. Betty, what was that you were listening to? I eventually found it on YouTube because I think she had went past the play button and we ended up, finding it. And it was just a small clip of something And I was like, wow, this is powerful. It's amazing how we can live our whole life, okay? And sometimes it might take 50 years, 60 years to hear that one thing that you listen to, and it just hits you so profoundly. So some of those nuggets, these doctors are going to be sharing when they're on Thursday night, and you don't want to miss it, okay? You don't want to miss hearing from Dr. Erica Montgomery, who's going to bring the aspect of the mental health component and how our mindset is going to be a big part of our success with this. And then we now, again, on Tuesdays, have the wellness coaches. And so the format, the way it's going to work is we're going to have two different experts, whether it's a wellness coach on Tuesday or a doctor on Thursday. They're going to share first some kind of groundbreaking information that you need to know, as a part of the Blue Zone, as a part of the longevity plan. Okay, you're going to get that. And then guess what? They're opening up for Q&A. So now you have a chance to have your most, burning questions answered right there live on the training coaching call. And so to get access to these, again, you have to get access. And how do you get access? You would have had to make sure you followed the packages that we launched that activate. Now, those packages are not on the website. Now, we did say they would stay on the site, but they would now go at their new prices and their new offers. And so just know that we're now releasing this week's offer for the next run, but just know what we had previously is off the table. And that's why we gave you the grace period. We extended it longer. But guess what, guys? Now that offer is off the table. And so that's why we took them off the site, so that now whatever we're programming, you recognize it's a different offer. It is not what we offered last week. Because, again, these doctors are coming with their knowledge, they're coming with their time, and they deserve to have this now community where they're not just on there volunteering their time, but they actually can be compensated because they've done so much for us. And now it's our time to ensure we partner and align with them in a way that's going to help this be a win-win for everybody, okay? A win-win for you as a wellness coach, a win-win because this is going to drive massive amounts of 7-day cleanses through your organization, okay? Massive amounts. In fact, we couldn't keep the shelves stocked up last week. We kept moving fast, and now we're overstocked again, which is great. But thank you, Tracy Bolson and Dr. Betty and the team that came in to ensure everything got done, guys. And so I'm super excited about where we're going with the full body reset. It doesn't change our business model. I mean, this is just a concept we're using for building community, okay? And hopefully now that you've heard more about it, you're as excited as we are, and you'll do the necessary steps that you need to do to ensure that you're connected with the community. But remember, the first step is go to fullbodyreset360.com, and you can go ahead and make sure you register for the access list. And the final step, if you are a wellness coach and you have not yet seen your name on the drop box, okay, you then put /team, and you can then go ahead and register to get your name on the drop down box so that the next time it happens, you won't be not on that list. And here's the cool thing, guys, it's on our website. So whether you're on that list or not, you still had an opportunity to promote it right on your site. But the point is, you want to have your name on that list, and you want to go ahead and take those steps today to get fully activated so that you're ready for this next campaign that's going to happen. And we're going to build this thing so big, okay? And so with that being said, I think I've covered what I wanted to cover today, because we are about to head off to the phenomenal beaches of Chicago. And yes, we have a phenomenal beach right within walking distance from our office. So we're going to go over there, have some fun in the sun, and then head back before the office opens at 12 o'clock. And so with that being said, I want to also remind you today, yes, you can get your rebound on. That's going to be happening in just a few minutes. We do want to save our strands, so make sure you tune in for Save Our Strands for a very important and exciting update with that program. It's about to go to a whole nother level, and we want to ensure you, if you're interested in that particular program and scoping and the scalp portion of this, healing hair, that you want to tune in at 2:30 Central, which is 3:30 Eastern time zone. And then, of course, you want to join us tomorrow for the Diamond Factory. And so with that being said, I want to make sure everyone's clear that it's health, wealth, freedom, and legacy for every life we touch, because guess what? 2025 and beyond, we are moving forward and we are not looking back, guys. We are super, super pumped up, super excited right now. And so we want to make sure each and every one of you have an Wakanda day, because we're going to see you at the top, the very top, the tip top, naked Wakanda Day. Bye-bye for now.